Today's Monday, October 31st. This is a trade review. I traded 3 stocks. The first one is Amazon. Now, Amazon has recently, last week, had an earnings release. It took a great drop and then it recovered. And based on the fundamentals, it looked like it was going to recover further. Therefore, I was keenly interested in entering the stock and believed that I could make some money on it. And so, therefore, I noticed the stock was actually going down when I bought it. I should have waited a little bit more, but I looked at this chart formation. And I thought, okay, it looks like it. I didn't see this part, but I thought, okay, so this is probably a good time for me to at about 8:19 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, I went long. What I should have done was waited. I should have waited until I saw something like this, where the top here should have been overtaken by this candle or this candle. Then I should have gotten in. In other times where the market is really trending down, this and this combination of this would have created a catastrophic result. However, there is a fundamental thesis behind this, and so I bought in, essentially averaging down. And what it did was it actually recovered. So then, at about 10:20 a.m., I sold one of the shares, and then it started to go down, and so I bought another share, another contract, believing that there's more upside in this. And fortunately, the way that it worked out, the fundamental actually paid off, and essentially the Nasdaq and the Dow Jones was actually going sideways with VIX trending down. So that is a positive to the trade. So at about 10:45 a.m., I bought one more. It dipped a little bit, and then when it recovered a little bit, I sold one, and then a little bit later, I sold again, believing that I have sufficient amount of gains, and so I'll call it a day, and I exited. How could I have improved this trade? What I could have done. Now, the thesis part about the recent earnings and expecting the stock to towards trending up is it seems to be a sound thesis, as the dip that was dramatic down to $88 last week was recovered immediately, which means that there's a strong tendency for the stock to recover. How I could have improved here was waited for this trade to occur. And also adding to this was probably not a good idea. I should have waited until at this moment when I added. Also, the trade that I made here was fairly good, because I waited until the stock reached a high and started going down. I should have inspected what the Dow Jones was doing and what the Nasdaq was doing. The sell was here good. Here, I should have waited until I saw a further clarification on how the stock behaved by waiting and then looking at it. This is actually early. This purchase was actually early, so I should have waited here. I should have bought it here somewhere around there. The sell was also a bit premature. I could have waited a little bit longer until I saw some clarification. This is essentially a double top or a head and shoulder formation. I could have sold it right here with a small, little bit more gain. So these are the improvements that I can make. So then I traded Boeing. Now Boeing was actually trending up all day today, and I could have, I could have taken at least 2x of what I from this trade, but I settled with 1x. So essentially, uh, also this is actually this stock has been fundamentally speaking trending very well recently, even with its earning on last week where it dipped approximately about like $10, and then the following day recovered like $8 or $9, and then the following day it recovered even more. So it actually is above and beyond where it started before its earnings decline. So that showed me that it was the stock was bullish. If I look here, I'm looking at it and I thought, okay, so this was a good entry to get into, it looks like. However, the drop occurred at this point, so this was actually premature. Now here, if I look here, I should have waited until maybe further clarification on this candle. I should have bought it on this candle, but I bought it here, so that was I'm a little bit early as well. So when after that, so this is a buy point, this is a buy point, and what I did was I sold right here at about 813. What I should have done is essentially if I look at this, I mean I should have waited until a further bigger moves right here. That would have it actually doubled my gain and would have been a very, very positive day today. So this trade, I could have improved by this FOMO caused me to purchase here, and this purchase was fairly close, but it still is missing the mark. I should have waited, and the sale could have been more. It could have been better as well. I should have seen some correlation of looking at where the VWAP is and looking at how the VWAP is trending, and I could have maybe waited a little bit longer to sell. Even if I sold here at around here, it would have been more than what I sold from here. So there's room for significant improvement in my trading. Now the third one that I traded, which essentially erased all my gains, is Costco. So I had an opportunity, so I bought early again, thinking that, okay, so this FOMO got me in here and I'm waiting and it dipped and it erased, I mean, it essentially erased all the gains that I had, and I was actually red for the day. And when it recovered, I should have seen this occurring, especially on this bounce right there. This resistance formation at this point essentially is at about 10:17 a.m. And if I look at the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ, at about that time, there was a double top. And essentially, I'm looking at this as a double top, and I should have sold it at this point and gotten out of the stock. But by this time, it was just dipping and dipping, and it went below the VWAP. And when it drops below VWAP, I should have, and it stayed there. It attempted to go up, it attempted to go up, and it's attempted to go up. So essentially, what this is telling me, okay, if it bounces off the low side of VWAP, it's a good idea to get out. Maybe getting out at this point would have been a better solution. I would have lost less. But I waited and waited and waited, and until the end of the day, because I had a cushion on Boeing and Amazon, I was able to hold on without too much stress, but it erased all the gains that I had essentially. So I got out, and then it started going up, and then it closed down. Now, how could I have improved my trading? Well, first of all, again, the Costco is actually doing very well after its earnings, and the thesis behind trading Costco was okay. It's just that today is a essentially a neutral day, as Dow Jones and the Nasdaq was going sideways. So what I could have done was here again. I was premature. I was just way too early. I should have waited until I saw something. I should have waited. The right entry point should have been somewhere around here. And once I got in here at this point, then I could have waited and I could have waited, and even if I missed this sell point here, I mean, the dramatic move was so significant, it was difficult for me to most likely get out at this point. But if I bought here, I would have still been in a positive territory. And at this point, surely this is a point where I should have gotten out. If I missed this, then I should have gotten out somewhere around here. As soon as it started bouncing off of the VWAP, or even here. So these exit point 2 and 3 would have been the right way to trade. However, I waited and I essentially erased all the gains from the other two trades, and so today just turned out to be a wash day. So improvement. Wait a bit longer on this until I see a better and firm signal that I can see. See, this essentially this is not enough information for me to make. I just got in there way too early, too eager. Saturdays and Sundays are eager points. However, if the eagerness is matched up with a green day that moves like that, that would have been an ideal situation to be. However, because the market is actually in a sideways move after last week's inclines, entering early caused this devastating loss. Devastation meaning I didn't lose everything, but the gains that I had was erased, and today it was a neutral day. The exit point here, I could have improved on the exit point. When I see this and when I have a cushion here, especially with a small gain, I should have gotten out of here. If I missed this one, this would have been the point that I should have gotten out. There would have been a second chance and a third chance. And generally speaking, when I get out on a fourth chance, usually the gains have been significantly erased and would have caused a great deal, and it certainly did. It caused a great deal of losses in my trade. So chart formations and based on the fundamentals and the chart formations is a right combination. It's a right combination, and some signals that provides me some clues on what to do would be the 1, 2, 3 methods of trading a proper in a proper manner. So I look to improve these things on a daily basis so that the consistency will be achieved, and one of these days I will hit 4 figures.